Okay, let's catch up. Today is day 19. It is Thursday. One more treatment this week, one more week, and I'm finished. But things are really accelerating now to the point where I almost want to say, stop a minute. I think the sad truth is when you're the sickest and when you have the biggest problems and the biggest things to deal with, you really have to be hardy in order to do all the things you need to do. I mean, I will have done 5 weeks of this radiation with all of its incumbent issues, and I thought I'd have a little bit of time to relax in between. No such luck. They want me to be scheduled for an MRI, and I don't know how I'm going to do this, aside from the way I feel about the MRI that they have. They do not have the wide bore. To me, that's antiquated, but they don't have it. And, okay, but the other issue is that from 12 midnight, I can't eat anything. I can have up to 12 ounces of water from then until my appointment, and the CAT scan is scheduled for 2 p.m. Are they crazy? I have to go the entire day without a morsel of food. My blood sugar is going to be crazy, crazy. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. So that's on the one hand. The other thing is, they said not to even take any water for the last 2 hours before the thing. Now, if I need to take a Xanax, how do I do that if I can't take it within 2 hours? I need for it to be effective at the time. Again, I don't get it. And then 2 hours after that, they have me scheduled for CAT scan. The next day, they have me scheduled for 3 different appointments. One is a full hour or more appointment for pre-op, all the pre-op stuff, and then I have to meet with the surgeon, the surgical oncologist, and the plastic surgeon to sign off on it. I also have to meet with my cardiologist because apparently I need clearance from him as well before surgery, and they changed the surgery, which I think I mentioned to you yesterday. Instead of now being on the 16th, which is a Monday, they are planning it on Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. I don't like that on so many levels, but I think the biggest one, aside from the obvious, is that it is a summer Friday. Everyone's going to want to get the hell out of there and enjoy their weekend. How good is the care going to be for me? It concerns me. And then it's a Friday in the summer. So if anything needs to be attended to, the next day is Saturday. If it's done on a Monday, I have a whole week. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how it's going to work out. I truly don't. But that's something I need to deal with. And the problem is nobody discusses anything with me. They just tell me. In other words, it's as if they hand me a sheet and say, show up here, show up here, show up here, show up here. I think I'm running out of steam. And I think I'm running out of the ability to just, like an automaton, be programmed and just move along at the prescribed pace. So I have to figure all of that out. Okay, today. I told you about yesterday. I mean, yesterday turned out to be a horror in the sense of it being, instead of an hour appointment between the treatment and the meeting with the oncologist, turned out to be a 3-hour ordeal. Because not only was that machine down, but the other one was down as well, and they were playing catch up. So it was a nightmare. Also, the usually frigid room, which they put the warm blanket on me for, was hot as hell. fast forward to today. I go in for my treatment today. I get there the same time. I'm there about 20 of 1. My appointment's 1 o'clock. I'm sitting in the waiting room. They call me in maybe 10 to 1 to change. And they warned me that it was warm in the treatment room. Warm like Hades is how warm it was. When I was in there and they left and they had me covered with whatever light things they had, I wanted to strip naked. It was so hot. I felt like they put me in a sauna and there was hot air blowing. It's bad enough to have to go through this, but to have that added torment is totally not fun. Okay. So I got through the treatment painfully because when she did the first films, apparently they didn't line me up as perfectly on the table as the people did yesterday because it was really quick. Today, not so much. They had to make adjustments, and I'm starting to know the different sounds and sensations. When there is a delay after the films are taken, before treatment starts, I feel a little vibration on the table. They're making adjustments to compensate for it being slightly off so that they can do the treatments because they're targeted and they need to be precise. So I waited for that to pass. It's hot. I'm lying there and I'm thinking, get me out of here. So they finally started treatment and okay, I'm counting down. There are 7 fields, there are 6, there are 5. We get all the way down to where she said to me, 5 are done. You have only 2 more. And I said, okay, I can bear this. It was hurting because the position they put me in was slightly off, just enough for that area in my back to start, and I knew it was going to happen. So I get through 6, and they come to 7, and normally 6 and 7 are quick. Not today. So after she set me up for the 7th one, she said, I don't know if she said the machine did a reset or the machine did something. It wasn't liking the position of the 7th field. There was something wrong with it. So the machine required a reset. A reset on the very last field when I was already stressed my body to the limit. And at that point I started moaning. Until they had it set up again and had it going, it was fine. When I got up from the thing, I was like, just give me a towel to wipe the sweat off from the sauna that I was in and let me go home. In all actuality, the time was not terrible. I left there at 25 to 2. So it meant that I was really only in there for maybe 35 minutes, but was too long and too uncomfortable and too hot. But 6 left, 6, and then I'm done. 1 tomorrow, I get a weekend off, and then we start again on Monday. As far as the tramadol goes, yeah, I've spoken to the doctor about it on Wednesday, and he said to me that, I said to him, would it be possible to try the lower dose? He said, I thought I gave you the lowest dose. I said, no. I said, I've heard from other people that there is a 25 milligram dose that is with acetaminophen, I think it is. And he said he would call the pharmacy and he would find out. They came out and they told me after a little while I was still waiting to go in for my very, very delayed treatment on Wednesday, he told me, the girl came out and said that yes, the pharmacy had it and they were doing the lower dose with the acetaminophen and that I should give that a try. So I said, I'm happy to give it a try. I certainly loved the way it did help the pain, but the rest of it was so not worth it. I mean, I was sick as a dog, and it got worse and worse as the day wore on. So for a half hour of alleviation of pain, I paid with this feeling that I needed to be rushed to a hospital. I don't think so. Anyway, so this is what I got. Turns out it's not the 25 milligrams. It is tramadol slash APAP, which I'm assuming has to be something with the acetaminophen, since the circular mentions something about it. The manufacturer of this is Zydus, and so it's 37.5 milligrams and 325 milligrams of the acetaminophen, I'm assuming. And it says take 1 tablet by mouth every 6 hours as needed for pain. Maximum daily dose is 4 tablets. So this one looks very different than the other one. The other was a little round pill. This one is really an oblong. So this is what it looks like. And I haven't tried it yet. I was going to try it this morning, but when I got up this morning, I did not feel well at all. I was nauseous yesterday and today. My bowels are off because of the treatment, I'm assuming. And I just didn't feel well, and I had to get up at the crack of dawn. So I fell asleep early yesterday. I was tired. I was really tired. So I fell asleep in the evening for a couple of hours. I realized at 11 or 11:30 that I had not had dinner. I didn't dare go to sleep without dinner. I knew I wouldn't feel well in the morning. So at that point, I had my cottage cheese doubles and my applesauce with it, and I took my pill at night. I took my Advil and I went to bed. I had to be up to meet a photographer today at the house at 9, and it was really, really difficult. I was so afraid I'd oversleep that I was up at 6:40, and I was terrified to fall asleep again because I thought I'd missed the appointment. So I stayed up from then. I had the television on in the background, and it was an old Lucille Ball show playing, and it was the scene in which they were in California, and she's jumping over the wall into Richard Widmark's backyard. So I lay in bed for probably close to an hour because I really felt awful when I woke up, and I thought I'm never going to make it through this day. And fortunately, that did help some. So I was out of the house by 10 to 9, and I got over to the house. I had a few staging things to bring in, and I walked in the door. I felt awful walking in today because I hadn't noticed this. There is no window in the living room. I'm doing this for over 30 years. I don't think I've ever seen a living room without a window before. So it was a dark morning. It was a kind of a gray and dismal morning, and it looked like midnight. I said, how is he going to photograph this? Somehow he managed to get it done. He said to me when he walked into the front room, he said, what is this room? If it doesn't reveal itself, it actually looked like what might have been a screened-in porch at one point. And it was now a finished room that they were using as a den, but it's extraordinarily narrow. So it really is not the most functional room. One of the bedrooms is used as a dining room because there's no dining room. And the photographer thought it was a 2-bedroom house. No, it's a 3-bedroom house with no dining room. So he finally got all his stuff done. I decided to stop at a local place to get food, and I picked up some eggs and thought I'd try that for breakfast, and that maybe it would help. It actually didn't help at all, probably or possibly made it even worse. But I did manage to get home. I decided not to take the tramadol because I felt so awful to begin with that I didn't want to confuse anything with possible side effects from that. So I went downstairs, Linda got there, and we left. And the rest of it I told you. I mean, it was not wonderful. I'm ready for this to be done. I really am ready for this to be done. I'm concerned about the surgery. I'm sort of doubly concerned about the surgery on Friday the 13th, saying, okay, is something going to go wrong? Then I said, all right, I need to think of Friday the 13th as a lucky day for me. It'll be the day that they take out this tumor. It'll be the day that they can say that they got the whole thing. It didn't harm my body as much as they expected it to, and that I can begin to heal. I'm nervous. I am. I know I can get through every part of it except for the MRI, to be honest with you. I just have to put one foot in front of the other and just keep on going. So once again, I'm going to talk to people in the future. If anybody is watching this during a time when you're facing this, there are lots of ups and downs. There are lots of feelings of, oh my, can I do all of this? Or am I going to be able to deal with all the side effects from whatever? But you do get through it. You get through it one day at a time. You get through it one foot in front of the other. And depending upon what it is that you're having radiated, you might not even have any real symptoms. I am at this point, my skin in the groin, it's a very sensitive area. It has gotten quite red, and I've got 6 more treatments to go. So I know it's going to get worse. It's starting to feel burning a little bit. I'm using the Eucerin on it, and the Eucerin is wonderful. It is very, very soothing. It's very thick, and it's very soothing, and it doesn't stain anything, so it's good all around. And I am doing as much of the normal things in my life as I can, which are not many, but I'm doing the best I can given the circumstances at this moment in time. I have a goal. The goal is to get completely well. The goal is to kick the butt of this sarcoma and to tell it that it's no longer welcome. I love the comment that I got this morning that said, you've given it notice of eviction. Yes, that's a perfect way of thinking of it. I have. And yes, it is fighting back to whatever degree, but I've got my fingers and toes crossed, and I am so looking forward to a cancer-free future if it's in the cards for me. So I'm here with you for better or worse throughout the entire time, and I'm documenting it to the best of my ability, and we'll see what happens. As I say, if it helps one person down the road, if it makes anybody's life easier, whether you have this disgusting disease or anything else in your life that feels insurmountable, guess what? We can do it if we do it one thing at a time. It's like what they say about how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I'm biting. I look forward to the weekend, really can't wait. And I have so much to do in my house, and I'm so worried because there's not much time left. On that note, I'm quite done for the day. I love you being with me. I hope you're not bored to tears. And I will see you all soon. And Jeannie, yes, thank you so much. I got it. What a touching and thoughtful thing. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.